Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to try something different. It'll be kind of like a casual laser with me vlog slash maybe some chatty vibes. I'll share kind of my tips and tricks along the way, or I don't know, who knows where this will go. But I wanted to try this casual style today, so I hope you'll stick around. So Sundays have kind of become my small business slash laser day. Having a full-time job makes it hard to do business stuff every day, especially when there's still light outside. Sundays have now kind of become my day of either rest, play, or catching up on business stuff. So on my to-do list today, I have kind of a lot. I need to do a customer order. I need to redo my Easter basket tag. So I have a good sample to post on my website. I also need to make a couple of products that I had during my craft fair last year that I didn't bother uploading yet to my website. I also need to test how my machine will cut on 1/4-inch wood because I recently signed up for That Mom with the Lasers File Club. And I'm so excited to test her file out. But first I need to cut a 1/4-inch wood, and I've never done that before, so that'll take a little while, I think. And once I dial in my settings for that, I can hopefully cut the product using her file today. And if I can finish all that, oh my gosh, a fly. If I can finish all that before the sun goes down, then I will take some product photos inside with some good lighting. So it's gonna be a long afternoon. It's currently almost noon. I had a much needed breakfast with a best friend of mine, so I'm glad we had time for that. But I'm gonna skip lunch and I'm gonna get to work. So I've decided to prioritize my to-do list and separate them in two categories. I'm going to be cutting acrylic first because for my wood products, I do need to turn on my air compressor, and I would rather just deal with that in the second half of work. And then that way, when I turn it off, everything's all done. A couple must-need items before I get started would be protective glasses, my focus gauge, because I don't use my autofocus anymore, some really strong magnets. I'm using two different color floral acrylic today. It'll be these two colors. Just a cute little paper clip. So because I purchased this acrylic with the floral design on it already, it's really simple. I just need to peel off the back masking. And there it is. Really glossy paper clip that can be used as a paper clip. I've used it as a bookmark or a chip clip for your bags of chips that you don't finish. And rather than putting and restoring the acrylic as soon as it's done cutting, I do prop it up elsewhere just until it's cold or room temperature to the touch, because after you initially cut your product out, the material is still a little warm, and I'm just paranoid, so I let it cool off before putting it away. Here's the second piece. So first thing off my list, so what I do to help me stay organized and figure out exactly what I need to do, I like to just make simple checklists on my iPad. I use GoodNote, and yeah, it just feels nice to check something off, like physically, with a pen. Next will be the phone stand. Okay, so while that's cutting, this little tip is for my laser peeps out there. But when you purchase a file, be sure to test it out. And by that, I don't necessarily mean just testing the file to cut on your machine, but also for its use. The file I purchased for the phone stand was just basically the shape. I only purchased the shape. I modified it with my own floral design on it afterward. The floral design is not the issue. It was this bottom part of the stand. So I cut the stand. This hole, which I didn't even realize, but thanks to my husband, is actually meant for the charging cord. But in reality, can everyone's charger cable fit through here? I don't think so. So I modified the design to do kind of like this round edge there instead. I didn't really like that concave look. I made this third design, and you'll see it when it's done. It's just a reminder that when you purchase already made files for use, I'm sure most of them are perfectly fine and usable, but it doesn't hurt to double check, and to double check the function of all the parts, basically, is what I'm saying. So I just finished cutting. This is what I mean about the design. So I just changed it to this, it almost looks like a t-shirt, but just this shape instead of the other two. Now it's time for my least favorite part about all this, peeling and weeding. Here we go. With this design, it takes a lot to get the paper masking off because the design is so intricate, but that's why I haven't done any other more intricate designs than this one. People do use this tool. It's kind of like a scraper to get the masking off, but I find that it scratches the acrylic, at least this clear one that I use. Maybe I'm using it wrong, who knows, but I just do it by hand. Okay, it's done. Here's the poor Kenny design. So this just slips through here. The phone rests here. So stand. And the phone. Okay, next we're gonna make Easter basket tags like this one. The reason why I'm remaking this one is, I don't know if you can tell, but the leaf part of the carrot is a little crooked. I just was not paying attention when I was putting it on. I was so concerned about the circle, that lining up the circle part, that I didn't even think about its alignment to the actual carrot. So we're fixing that. And pro tip, when you are cutting pieces and you want to stick them together with the intention of using 3M tape, don't forget to put the 3M tape on. This was my first cut of the carrot. I forgot to stick 3M on it. It's just, it is what it is. The carrot is done. So this will be a Easter basket tag. All right, next I'm going to turn on my air compressor because I'm going to be cutting some unfinished wood. Alrighty. If you want to learn how to use an air compressor with your laser machine, then I'll link it in the cards above.
order ready.
All right, so I've never cut 4-inch wood before. I'll have to do a test cut to see what settings are optimal for my machine. If you are just starting out with a laser, I recommend testing the settings for yourself. You can use settings that are already out there, but every machine really is different. It's best to just see for yourself. So here's my test cut. This file I got from that mom with a laser. She's amazing. She also has a course, so sign up if you can. I learned a lot from her and her resources. This file is just to help figure out your settings. It's 1/4-inch birch. I used manual focus and I used my air compressor. So for the file that I'm currently cutting, I'm gonna try out 12 speed and maybe 60 power just to be safe. Let's see how it turns out. Here's my cut. This one came out pretty well. There's a little bit of charring for some reason. Not something some wiping and sanding can't fix, but just really weird that, well, my air compressor was on, but I think I needed to adjust the PSI a little bit more. I really wasn't paying attention to it, so that was my fault. A lot of factors when you're cutting with your laser machine. This one, however, if you can see here, this piece, it didn't cut all the way through. I mean, it's not the worst thing. I can just literally pick it off and just sand that part down. But regardless, I shouldn't need to do that, basically. With a machine like mine, and I have Eon Mirror 7, if I'm able to dial in my settings really well, I shouldn't need to, pick off any stray pieces of wood or sand the edges down because it didn't, cut cleanly. So the fact that I had to do that just means maybe I need to up the power just a little bit or slow down the speed just a little bit. So this one was done with 12 speed, 60 power. For the next one, I think I'm going to try 11 speed, but keep the power the same. But let's see how this one turned out. Again, I think I wasn't paying attention to my air compressor. So there's a little charring around the little holes, but that's okay because we're just testing this file out. That's the whole point. How cute is that? I'm so excited to try this out. It's actually a flower press and I've never used one before. So, learning new things still. I'm also excited to see how I can modify this so it would be more appealing to my local customer. But either way, this is super cute. Here is an example of if you have a laser, why getting an air compressor would be great for you. I just took these pieces out because I modified this design and I did a local version, local to Hawaii is what I mean. And I did a Po'okeni design and a Pikake design. So this is the bottom piece of the flower press. This is without the air compressor. You see how there's charring here versus with the air compressor, there's nothing. I don't have to do anything to this piece. It's just ready to go. This one I'll need to wipe down and sand a little bit so that you don't get this charring here. Anyway, that's pretty much it for all the lasering that I need to do in the shop today. And by shop, I mean my garage. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more informal vlogs like these. Hopefully in the next one, it'll be a little more organized. Hopefully it was entertaining or informational for some of you out there. Thanks for sticking around and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!